Hey beekeepers, this afternoon I thought I'd make a video. I haven't one for a while. I made some splits, or I'm working on making some splits at least, on my beehives, and I'll tell you what I'm planning on doing. I already started. I had a beehive that was just loaded with bees, a double deep. It had a super on it for honey I put on last month. I really haven't done a lot to that, but the rest of the hive was pretty full. Had I think 9 frames of brood and just tons of bees. So I decided, well, somebody told me, I want to do a mic check. Somebody told me if you want to do a mic check and can't find your queen, what you do is you shake all your bees down the bottom, and then you take another super and put it on top and put a couple frames of brood in there over a queen excluder, and the bees will come up and take care of that brood, and then you can do your mite check without having to worry about your queen. Well, I thought that's a good idea, and then I got thinking, well, that's how I can make a split. So I had this hive here in the center that has the bees all over it in front. And so what I did this morning, I went through it and I separated all the brood and the honey supers, honey frames that is, brood frames and honey frames, separated them all. Put 5 of the frames back in the bottom of the brood and put some open frames in there with drawn comb. I put the second one up there, and it has some, there was some, actually I put some brood, not some brood, some honey supers down there bottom. Honey frames in the bottom, I'll get that right in a minute. Put honey frames in the bottom. And then the next one up I put drawn comb and some honey. They'd already drawn some. I had a honey super on top, but they hadn't done much on that. I just put it on a couple weeks ago. So what I did is I shook all my bees into the bottom 2 boxes, and then I put 2 frames, actually 4 frames. 4 frames of brood up in that white one, that upper deep, and the third deep over a queen excluder. Now what I'll do is probably tomorrow go back in there and pull those 4 frames and make 2 nukes with them. That's the plan anyway. As far as the honey super, I think that'll weaken that hive some. So what I want to do is take that honey super and put it on this hive right here that I've been feeding, and it should have enough bees now that it needs to have a honey super. On the upper one there, I've got a honey super on it already, and I'm not sure what they've done with that. But I'll take, once I finish this one the next couple days and make two nukes, I'll probably do the same thing with that one on top, because it was full of bees too. Now I've got a couple beehives you can see sitting around here that don't have any bees in them. So I've only got this one right here, and the one right there with the bees on it, and the one up at the top, the deep, double deep one up there at the top with a honey super on it. Those are my 3 hives. What I want to do is increase my colonies, so I'm hoping to get 2 nukes out of that middle box, and maybe 2 nukes out of the top box. And this one here, I'm probably going to save for honey. So as it stands, look at there, some butterflies just flying around there. As it stands, this hive here is doing pretty well, and I need to inspect it again, but I think they're going to be fine. And this one here, I think will have plenty. Now, if there's not enough bees in there, if I decide that, hey, I took too many bees out, too many frames out, I may cut that down to a single deep and put a honey super on it. I haven't decided which to do on that yet. I want to see what happens after tomorrow, or maybe even the next day, before I go back in and separate those nuke boxes. I'm still debating. I could just throw the whole thing back together again with a double screen board and make just a single split with it, and that way I'd have 2 strong hives. But my aim really isn't to increase my colonies at this point. I'd like to sell a couple nukes, maybe 3 or 4. And so I'm still deciding. I may just increase my colony. I may just go back to double deeps and put everything back together into one to kind of equalize everything. Not sure what I'm going to do on that. As you can see, these guys have found their way back in, pretty much. There's just a few of them hanging out, don't know what to do. But I think that's going to be fine. Especially if I put them back together, I'd definitely be fine. I'd have to worry about swarming still. So that's why I need to split them and make some more hives. I haven't decided yet. I make a super nuke, an 8-frame, single deep 8-frame hive out of them, and put some honey supers on it, or put some supers on it. See if I can get it by winter, if I decide to keep them over winter. We'll see. I'm just trying to think about this as I go along. As a lot of you know, that I lost about 40 hives a couple years ago, and that kind of killed my interest in bees for a little bit. But I've still got some, so I'm still here, still trying to figure it all out, just like everybody else. I know a lot of people lost honeybees that year. Across the country, about 50% of the honeybees were lost over the winter. So that was 23 and 24 winter. So I'm not totally alone. I do know some of the things I did that I had some hives in the shade, and well, they got small hive beetles in and yellow jackets in. So I want to be aware of that this year. Get this one out of the shade right here, put it in the sun, and move those as I need to if they get shaded, because I got some big trees around here yet. So that's where I'm at with that. I had another yard that was all shaded, but I put hive beetle traps in them, and I got rid of the hive beetles. So I have put 4 hive beetle traps in each one of them at the top. And doing so, I trapped maybe 50 hive beetles in each one of them. So I moved a whole bunch of them out, and I don't seem to have a big problem with them this year. So I'm gonna put some hive beetle traps in them just for safety precaution. And so that's pretty much where I'm at with that. I don't know about the yellow jackets. I'm not sure what's going to happen with those this year. I think the primary thing is to keep really strong hives. And if I make these splits, that's one thing I'm about to worry about, is make sure that they're strong. So that might mean making them into single deeps and packing all the bees into one brood chamber. That might mean I need to do some feeding and make sure that they have plenty to get over through winter. So that's where we're at on that. Still trying to figure that out, but I got that done today. It's 80 degrees, and since I'm old, I don't want to do too much more. It got pretty hot. I started about 10:30. It took me till about noon to finish that job. Noon 30 maybe. So I'll probably do that one on top in a couple days. And this one here, when I get ready, I don't have to do it right away, because they're fine in there, and the brood will be up there. I can do my mite test, because I have a mite-free or a queen-free box, so I can do my mite test and also make a split. So that's the plan. Wish me luck.